students, today I am going to teach you Unit 4.3 World Heritage. A World Heritage Site is a site determined by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. So, the full form of UNESCO is United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. To have significant cultural or natural importance to humanity. So, what is from which department World Heritage Site is determined? It is determined by UNESCO, and it has significant cultural or natural importance to humanity. As such, these sites are protected and maintained by the International World Heritage Program, which is administered by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee. So, all the World Heritage Site in all over the world is protected and maintained by the International World Heritage Program, and which is administered by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee. So what is the meaning of heritage? Here we can see that heritage means that which is valued because of historical or natural or cultural importance. Because the World Heritage Sites are places that are significant culturally and naturally. They vary in types but includes forests, lakes, monuments, buildings and cities. So, how many things are included in World Heritage Sites? We can see that World Heritage Sites are vary in different types. So, they include forests, lakes, monuments, buildings and cities. World Heritage Sites can also be a combination of both cultural and natural areas. So, the sites may be natural or may be cultural, or sometimes it can be the combination of both cultural and natural areas. For example, Mount Hongshan in China is a site with significance to human culture because it is played a role in historical Chinese art and literature. So here we can see that one example is given of Mount Hongshan in China. This site is significant to human culture because it is play a role of historical Chinese art and literature. So in this place we can see the culture of China and the literature. This mountain is also significant because of its physical landscape, and the mountain is a natural thing. So it is significant because of its physical landscape. Characteristics means distinguishing features or qualities. Now, history of World Heritage Site. So when it was started to protect all the sites from the world. So now let's see. Although the idea of protecting cultural and natural heritage sites around the world began in the early 20th century, momentum for its actual creation was not until the 1950s. So, the idea of protecting our all heritage sites, which are cultural or natural, this was started in the early 20th century, but the actual creation, the official announcement was not done until 1950s. In 1954, Egypt started plans to build the Aswan High Dam to collect and control water from the Nile River. So when it was started in 1954 in Egypt, they planned to building Aswan High Dam. They plan to build a dam to collect the control water from the Nile River. The initial plan for the dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples and scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. So, the initial plan was like this. The dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples. So, this was the place at that place where they wanted to build a dam. And scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. Scores of means plenty of, many of Egyptian artifacts. Artifacts means any objects made by a human being. So this was flooded the valley containing many of the Egyptian objects which are made by the human beings. To protect the temples and artifacts, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959 that called for the dismantling and movement of the temples to high ground. So they wanted to plan a dam, but they diminishing these courses, means many of the objects made by the human beings. So for that, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959 for dismantling. Dismantling means disassembling or pulling down the movement of the temple to higher ground. So they shifted the temple at the higher ground so that they do not affect with the building of that dam. The project cost an estimated US $80 million and $40 million of which came from 50 different countries. And this project was overall costing 80 million US dollars, and from half of them, means 40 million dollars, which came from 50 different countries. Because of the project's success, UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. So from this and from the success of this project, UNESCO and the other council, which council? International Council on Monuments and Sites, they decided, initiated means started. So they started a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage all over the world. Shortly thereafter, in 1965, a White House conference in United States called for a World Heritage Trust to protect historic cultural sites, but to also protect the world's significant natural and scenic sites. So after that, the initiated in 1965, White House conference in US called for World Heritage Trust. This type of trust was initiated to protect historic cultural sites, but also to protect the world's significant natural and scenic sites. Finally, in 1968, the International Union for Conservation of Nature developed similar goals and presented them at the United Nations Conference on a Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden in 1972. So, after that, in 1968, the International Union for Conservation of Nature developed for the similar goal. Which goal? To protect the World Heritage Sites, and presented them at the United Nations Conference on Human Environment, which was in Stockholm in Sweden in which year? 1972. Following the presentation of these goals, the Convention concerning the protection of world cultural and natural heritage was adopted by UNESCO's General Conference on November 16, 1972. So after all these attempts, finally on November 16, 1972, World Cultural and Natural Heritage was adopted by UNESCO's General Conference. For which motive? For concerning the protection of world cultural and natural heritage. The World Heritage Committee. Now let's see what is the work of World Heritage Committee. Today, the World Heritage Committee is the main group responsible for establishing which sites will be listed as the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So, which are the characteristics should a site consisting to cover under World Heritage Committee? So, World Heritage Committee decides which sites will be included in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The committee meets once a year and consists of representatives from 21 state parties that are elected for 6-year terms by the World Heritage Center's General Assembly. So here the whole process for listing in the UNESCO World Heritage Site. For that, the committee meets once a year and consists of representatives. How many representatives? 21 state parties, and that are elected for how many years? For 6 years by World Heritage Center's General Assembly. The state parties are then responsible for identifying and nominating new sites within their territory to be considered for inclusion on the World Heritage List. So all these 21 parties decides or they suggest some places, nominating some sites within their considering territory, and afford to the World Heritage Committee for the inclusion on the World Heritage site. And after they consist their sites in the list of UNESCO World Heritage sites. Now, becoming a World Heritage site. How can one site can become a World Heritage site? Now let's see. There are 5 steps in becoming a World Heritage site. The first of which is for a country or state party to take an inventory of its significant cultural and natural sites. So there have been 5 steps for any sites to become World Heritage sites. So first of all these, to take an inventory of its significant cultural and natural sites. By whom? By the country or state party. Now inventory means a detailed list. So first of all, the party should make a detailed list of significant cultural or natural site. Now this is called a tentative list. So this is not the final list, it is a tentative list, means temporary list, and it is important because nominations to the World Heritage List will not be considered unless the nominated site was first included on the tentative list. So the tentative list is very important because for any site to become World Heritage Site, there must be their inclusion in tentative list. After that, they can include in World Heritage List. Now next, countries are then able to select sites from their tentative list to be included on a nomination file. Now after that, the country party make a nomination file in which they select some of the places from tentative list. The third step is a review of the nomination file by 2 advisory bodies consisting of the International Council on Monuments and Sites and the World Conservation Union, who then make recommendations to the World Heritage Committee. So what is the third stage? In third stage, there is a review of a nomination file. Now, 2 advisory bodies means 2 officers check or review that nomination file. Which are those 2 personnel? They are from International Council on Monuments and Sites, and the other one is from World Conservation Union. Then both of them make recommendation. Recommendations means they give suggestions or proposal to the World Heritage Committee to include those places in the World Heritage Site. Now the World Heritage Committee meets once a year to review these recommendations and decide which sites will be added to the World Heritage List. So from those recommendations, the World Heritage Committee met once in a year to review all their suggestions, means recommendations, and then they decide whether these sites should be added in the list or not. Then the final step in becoming a World Heritage Site is determining whether or not a nominated site meets at least one of 10 selection criteria. So how many selection criteria are there? There are mainly 10 criteria. Then the site is consisting those area or not. That means that at least one of the 10 criteria. If the sites meet this criteria, it can then be inscribed on the World Heritage List. So criteria means fixed basis to judge. These bases are created by World Heritage Committee. So if they meet those criteria, then it can be inscribed. Inscribed means to print or to write or to engrave on the World Heritage List. Then it will be included in the list. Once a site goes through this process and is chosen, it remains the property of the country on whose territory it sites, but it also becomes considered within the international community. So during this 5 stages process, that site is remain the property of specific territory. Territory means region of the country, but it also become considered within the international community. It include in the property of international community, which is the World Heritage Site. Types of World Heritage Sites. As of 2009, there are 890 World Heritage Sites that are located in 148 countries, and 689 of these sites are cultural and include places like the Sydney Opera House in Australia and the Historic Centre of Vienna in Austria. 176 are natural and feature such locations as the US Yellowstone and Grand Canyon National Parks. So, there are total 890 World Heritage Sites and they are located in different 148 countries according to the reports of 2009. From these, 689 are cultural and they include the places like Sydney Opera House from Australia and Historic Centre of Vienna in Austria. 176 are natural sites and features such as locations as US Yellowstone and Grand Canyon National Park. 25 of the World Heritage Sites are considered mixed. So from these 25 places are mixed. Mixed means that is natural and cultural both. Peru's Machu Picchu is one of these. Italy has the highest number of World Heritage Sites with 44. So in overall the world, Italy has the most number of World Heritage Sites. This is 44. India has 36, in which 28 are cultural, 7 are natural and 1 is mixed World Heritage Sites. The World Heritage Committee has divided the world's countries into 5 geographic zones. So, World Heritage Committee has divided overall the world's country into 5 geographic zones, which are first one Africa, second one Arab state, third one Asia Pacific including Australia and Oceania, fourth one Europe and North America, and fifth one Latin America and the Caribbean. So these are the main 5 geographic zones which are made by World Heritage Committee. Now let's see World Heritage Sites in danger. So all these our World Heritage Sites are in danger. So what are the reasons? Now let's see. Like many natural and historic cultural sites around the world, many World Heritage Sites are in danger of being destroyed or lost due to war, poaching, natural disasters like earthquakes, uncontrolled urbanization, heavy tourist traffic, and environmental factors like air pollution and acid rain. So, here are the reasons. Many natural and historical cultural sites are in danger. Why they are in danger? Because of being destroyed or lost due to war. Because of the war between the countries, the World Heritage Sites are affected. Or uncontrolled urbanization. Urbanization means include more areas in cities, expand area. Because of the population increasing, the places from the cities are expanded as more city area, and that is urbanization. So it's uncontrolled urbanization is one of the reason, and heavy tourist traffic. Too many people visit some places, and because of that our historical places are in danger. And environmental factors like air pollution and acid rains. So because of pollution there is acid rain and they affect the World Heritage Sites. World Heritage Sites that are in danger are inscribed on a separate list of World Heritage Sites in danger, which allows the World Heritage Committee to allocate resources from the World Heritage Fund to that site. So, all the places which are in danger are included in a separate list which is made by World Heritage Site, and the site allows the World Heritage Committee to allocate. Allocate means to assign, to give resources from their fund, World Heritage Fund, to that site. In addition, different plans are put into place to protect and or restore the site. So there are many other plans which are taking place to protect or to restore. Sometimes they need restoration. So for the protection or restoration of that site. If however a site loses the characteristics which allowed for it to be originally included on the World Heritage List, the World Heritage Committee can choose to delete the site from the list. So sometimes what happens, if the site loses all the characteristics from which it became the World Heritage Site, from the characteristics that specific place is became World Heritage Site and that loses all those characteristics, then the World Heritage Site has the right to delete that site from that list. To learn more about World Heritage Site, visit the World Heritage Center's website at whc.unesco.org. If you want to know more about World Heritage Site, you can visit the given site, which is whc.unesco.org. So it is our duty to protect the World Heritage Sites around us. If we visit any of the World Heritage Site, we should maintain cleanliness. We should not do anything that affect that place, and we should always take care of the places around us. So now here we are finishing our unit.